Hello, I'm Dr. Herman, and I'm with a patient of ours. This is Magali Rodriguez. Magali started care with us about, how long has it been now? It's a week, 2 weeks? 1 week she's been with me. And you originally came in because of a diagnosis you had as MS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple sclerosis was her diagnosis. And in your MRI, if I remember correctly, there were lesions that they showed in the brain. There were white spots in the brain on the brain MRI. And I think, if I remember correctly, it also talked about on the spinal cord as well, white lesions on the cord. Magali's had a problem with her walking for how long has it been?
Well, I was diagnosed in 2007, but the walking has gotten progressively worse at the beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Diagnosed in 2007. For what were you going through at that time when
I
you saw
had
care?
numbness on my right side, my whole right side.
The whole right side of the whole body?
The whole right side. And it got progressively worse, and then I was hospitalized for about a week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What did they do in the hospital?
They ran tests. They did a spinal tap, a CAT scan because they thought I might have had a stroke. They did an MRI, and then the MRI approved that I had lesions.
Okay. And how long were you feeling bad before you finally went to the hospital at that point?
Well, actually, in 2005, I was about 4 days with both legs, not the arms, but both legs. But then it went away, and then I went to see a neurologist, and since it got better, I didn't go back.
Both legs were numb?
Both legs.
Okay.
Then in 2007, in the beginning of 2007, is when I saw it was progressively worse, and I had to be hospitalized.
Okay. So was it just, now, if you can tell everybody, what have you, maybe up until about a week ago, so when we first met, what was your overall, what were all the complaints that you've had?
Well, basically I just had trouble walking. Trouble walking and trouble using my hand, even just picking up a fork.
Both hands or just the right side?
Just the right side.
Just the right side.
It's just, the walking was terrible. I could walk 5 minutes and then I couldn't walk anymore. I had to stop and go, stop and go. Sometimes I'd trip because sometimes both my feet would get numb because I'd be using one side more than another. Then it would cause fatigue on both sides.
And were there any other issues? Was it, if I can go over maybe some other personal things, constipation?
Yes.
That's been an issue,
Yes.
and how long have you been dealing with that for?
I'd say for about around the time I was diagnosed.
Okay. Okay. Insomnia problems? Sleeping problems?
Maybe. It depends. Like if the stress of it and just the stress that I can't walk,
Right.
I would wake up sometimes during the nighttime.
There's been a lot of fatigue that you deal with throughout the day?
Yes, a lot of fatigue. To the point where sometimes I would just have to sit, even sitting down, I just couldn't, it wouldn't make me feel better.
Yeah. What medicines have they had you on up until you started care here?
I was on Rebif 3 times a week.
Rebif?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they just recently put me in the beginning of this year on Baclofen.
Baclofen.
Mm-hmm. For the spasms.
Okay. Did any of those help at all?
No.
No help. And how long have you been on meds for? How long has it been?
I've been on Rebif since 2007, March 2007.
So that's about 3.5 years.
And the Baclofen is just July of this year.
Okay, so 3.5 years with one medicine that's supposed to be helping her MS, and it never did. And for probably about four months or so with another new medicine, and that didn't help her at all either. With the video that we just did, with you coming in here, and I remember when I first met you, it was just extremely different. You didn't use a cane, you didn't use a walker, at least not coming in this office. Did you use that ever outside, a cane or a walker?
Not until maybe July I started using a cane.
Okay, but the walking was so extremely difficult. I mean, it was both legs. She barely had any control of her legs, and that's what I saw. The video that we just did, now you're under care here for a week, and there's already been a certain amount of improvement with you.
No, there is.
And you're off of your meds now? Have you dropped them completely?
Yes, I took them off completely.
Completely, not even weaning them. You just stopped completely.
No, I just stopped them completely.
What we've done with Magali is a complete assessment with her stool analysis, or what we're doing now. We're looking for the reasons, but we've already started her on a certain autoimmune disease protocol that have developed along with some other doctors across this country with the study of neurochemistry and functional neurology there are ways that we can stimulate the brain and help calm down the stress on the immune system and allow the body to come back to life, literally. And in the past week with you, following the diet I provided for you and taking certain supplements, I don't want to talk for you, so.
Okay. My energy level has increased. I can get up in the morning without feeling tired. I've noticed also my skin has improved. It's not as dry as it used to be. My texture of my skin and my face is not as oily as it used to be. I was noticing too that lately my hair was like falling out more than usual, like strand by strand, but it was just all over my clothes. It hasn't happened anymore either.
No more hair dropping.
No. And I've been able to just walk in the morning better up until about 3 o'clock, but it's just improved better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what we're going to do along this whole program with you is just get spots along time. Maybe it's once a month, unless we see some dramatic improvement along the line, and be able to just film this along and we can show you improvement to everybody out there. Today is December 29th of 2010. So next time we check in, and we'll have a different date, of course, and we'll show Miguel's improvement as we go along the way. But would you say that other people who suffer with multiple sclerosis or another kind of condition like that, which there are others like Lou Gehrig's disease, which is the same thing, just presents differently in a person's body, but it's the same thing. Would you say that those people really need to look into this kind of program?
Yes, I do, because I never knew that diet was such a major issue in a person's health.
Sure.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference.
Big difference.
Not only for MS, but for everything else. I noticed a big, huge change in my body. Huge
Awesome.
change.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll check in soon. Thank you.